he basically, looking at all my medical records, he said, "Listen, I got good news and bad news for you." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Well, we know exactly what's wrong with you." I said, "Okay." He's like, "Yeah, you have pancreatitis. But the problem is, after looking at all your tests, your pancreas is actually deteriorated to the point where we can't save it." I'm like, "So what does that mean?" He's like, "Well, we're gonna have to do a very invasive radical surgery on you to, in order for us to, fix the issue." And I said, "Well, what does that mean?" So we're gonna remove your pancreas, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a auto islet transplant. So basically, what they did was they removed the pancreas, saved as many functioning islet cells that produce the insulin as they could, and they transplanted them into the portal vein of my liver. So at the same time, they removed my spleen, gallbladder, appendix, part of my small intestine, and I don't have a pancreas. Those islet cells took about 6 months to start functioning. It was a very long recovery. They said it was about a year recovery. The problem is that all the medications and pain medicines they had me on shut down my colon. So only 6 months from that surgery, I needed a subtotal colectomy. So they took 3/4 of my colon out. It was very debilitating, recovery. I had basically no quality of life. I couldn't do anything. I had no energy. I had no absorption. I had an absorption issue where I couldn't absorb enough nutrients and vitamins on my own. And I got 4 kids, by the way, 4 small kids. I got a twin 2-year-olds, 5 and a 9-year-old. So you can, as you
Boys.
can understand, it was even tougher. But so basically after that, I was sent home. And it was just basically like a daily struggle. My immune system was compromised. I would get sick all the time, and any like simple little sickness like a fever, I would end up in the hospital with pneumonia or staph infection or you name it. Like I had it, and she can contest to that because I was basically there like every other week. Then what happened is I started. And this has happened out of nowhere. I started getting nauseous all the time. I started vomiting 10 to 15 times a day. Like the pain was bad. The weight loss was ridiculous. I couldn't eat anything. So I'm like, what's going on now? So, they sent me for a test. I was sent to a specialist in Temple, Pennsylvania. They did this whole week's of test on me. They did like a 4-day gastric emptying test. I had to eat like radioactive eggs and everything. They diagnosed me with gastroparesis. I had a motility disorder, so I couldn't absorb, anything. I couldn't eat anything, digest anything. I had a delayed reaction of emptying with liquids and solids. They tried a number of different medications, didn't work. They tried Botox procedures, didn't work. So what they finally did was they put a gastric pacemaker in my stomach to speed up the motility. And at the same time, they put a feeding tube in. So I was on this feeding tube for over a year, 15 hours a day, because I could not absorb enough on my own. I was hooked up to it. I had to go for weekly infusions at Mather Hospital, or else I get dehydrated. I had a PICC line on my arm at one point because when the feeding tube got infected, they had to put a PICC line in to give me another supplement with TPN. Does anybody know what that is? TPN? It's like total parental nutrition. It's basically just like another way of supplementing for food. But the problem was, because I was a diabetic, it's very high in sugar. So it caused a massive staph infection in my whole entire body. So I was in the hospital for like 2 weeks on like every antibiotic you can think of at the same time. It was crazy. So this went on for a while. I was getting really sick, and finally, when the last time I got sick, I had bronchitis. I was in Dr. Gill's office where Deborah was, and she kind of like pulled me aside and she goes, "Listen, I know, everything you've been through has been hell and back, and I understand you don't think, you just don't want to hear it anymore, but I think I got involved with something that I think could help you out. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, I got involved with this company called Qivana, and it's about like basically all natural products. We've seen amazing results. We've gotten great testimonials. I think you should really try it out. And to be honest with you, I was totally skeptical at this point because I didn't think anything could help me. But when I went home and talked to my wife about it, she basically said it to me. She's like, listen, you've come this far. You've tried everything that you can even think of. Nothing has worked. What's one more thing going to do? At least you can say you tried it, and, then you can just move on. So I told myself, I'm going to try it. I'm going to give myself a good month, good 4 weeks on these products to see if they would really give me the results I want to, that I want to see. So I told Deborah, I said, all right, I'm going to try it. I'm going to order it. I ordered the core system, which was the probiotic essentials, the metabolic shakes because for the diabetes, and the detox also with the core, and then I also was taking the prime, and they'll go over the prime with you. So I literally took it for a good 4 to 6 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. I started to notice major results. Now these results you probably won't even believe, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Before I took these products, okay, and this you can ask my wife. I swear on my kids on this. I was taking a fentanyl patch,
Which is for pain.
okay, which is for pain. I was taking oxycodone and Dilaudid in the morning, every morning.
Narcotic pain medication.
I was taking protonics. I was taking other medications for the stomach, for the gastroparesis. So after 4 weeks, I was basically off of all the pain meds. I was off 3/4 of all the medications I was taking for my stomach and gastroparesis and acid reflux and all that. I was able to gain about 6 pounds, which doesn't seem like a lot, but for me, who couldn't gain anything, was a lot. And I'm talking like muscle weight. The shakes actually regulated my sugars so well that I've actually decreased my insulin that I take. I mean, that's pretty amazing. I haven't gone for an infusion to Mather Hospital in over 2.5 months because my energy has been at an all-time high. I haven't been dehydrated.
Let's talk about what happened last week.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna get to that. So right from there, I was just like, oh, this is the real deal. So I've been taking them nonstop since then. Well, last week I actually ran out because I've been handing out some samples to people and this and that, and I caught myself where I ran out for like 2 days. Those 2 days, I was so sick. Ask Deborah and Anne-Marie. Like I felt like before I was taking Qivana. This is a true story. So I called her up. I'm like, listen, I'm in so much pain. I'm nauseous. Like everything. Like I feel like crap. So she had one of the IBOs drop products off to my house that day. So I took it, and then I took it the next day, and I was
By
fine
5
again.
that evening, you were still sick, but you were better.
Yeah, but
Your
2
sugar
days.
levels
2
were
days
down.
later, though, I was back to. So if that doesn't give you validation as far as if these products are real and if they can help you out, I think that should, So I mean, these, I back these products 100%. I really don't know where, and this is, I really don't know where I'd be right now if I wasn't taking them. I probably do want to know where I'd be, but so I just, my whole thing going into this was to help any other people out there that don't think there's an answer or, are ready to give up because they're just done. Well, I'm just, basically telling everybody that there is. I mean, this is the real deal. And then on top of it, there is a great, financial opportunity as well because I've been on disability for 6 years. My wife works part-time, and I got 4 kids, so if there was a way where I could make some extra income on the side, that was gravy for me. and I've actually exceeded that. So, I mean, I'm very excited about the company, about the products. I mean, you should definitely look into it because this opportunity is pretty big.
Very good.
Hey, Jimmy.